What's up, guys? Welcome to my leg day workout. This is the second leg day in my week. I am currently on the upper lower split, and it's a 4-day upper lower split. So, Monday and Thursday are my upper body days, and Tuesday and Friday are my lower body days. So, starting off, we're here on the barbell front squat. This is a really great movement for getting a little deeper in a squat than you would a back squat. I like to do this because it really forces me to focus on like digging into my heels and pressing up out of my quads, and it allows me to get really deep of a squat, like in full range of motion. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just making sure my torso is staying upright. Really trying to focus on working on my front rack position, which is how my hands are holding the bar to my collarbone. It's a long process. Front squats are a lot more technically challenging than back squats, so it's just a long process of learning how to do them correctly. But they're very good to do if you want to be able to improve not only your squatting, but it carries over into pretty much all of the things that involve being able to keep your torso upright. So if you're looking at, say, like some of the row variations where you have to be able to keep yourself upright and, looking forward, or I don't know, pretty much any exercise in life, or even just sitting at your desk, like being able to be conscious of how you're sitting, like being able to keep your torso upright is crucial for all aspects of life. So I think the front squat is an important movement that helps you do that. And two, I'm like really, I don't know, I'm like scared of really going heavy on back squats and like doing that deep full range of motion like you see me doing, where my knees are going beyond parallel and my hamstrings are touching my calves. Like, it can start to feel really weird if you're trying to do that on back squats, honestly. Like it just is, it's too risky. But front squat, because the weight is over your quads as opposed to on your back, like, because on your back it's like more towards your glutes, so you have more muscles that are involved in helping get the weight back up. But the front squat is the way more quad dominant movement, and just it just allows you to really stretch your quads, like going down without risking moving back up awkwardly. I don't know. I don't know. It just feels better for my knees and everything. So I used to never do them, but now I do because I know how important they are. And yeah, as you can see, I'm just focusing on driving back up nice and smooth. I only recorded my 2 warm-up sets. I don't really like to record any of the working sets because I'm trying to focus on finishing the workout and being effective. And yeah, next up we have the conventional deadlift. I'm really currently focusing on maximizing my deadlift work. So I'm doing conventional deadlifts, I'm doing Romanian deadlifts. I'm going to start doing the stiff legged deadlift. We're just doing all the deadlift variations. So these are important to do for real world strength. They're a total body movement. They really help you just build your whole posterior chain and build some upper body strength in your traps and your back, even your grip strength as well, like your hands and forearms. Like, they're just a true total body movement that's, to me, is crucial to do. It's, one of the big compound movements. So I mean, I'm really trying to focus on working a lot of compound movements because it's just essential that you do them. I mean, you can get away with not doing them, but I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't do compound lifts because, they just help you build total body strength, and they're the things that, no matter what else you try to do, they just help you get results the fastest. They help you be the strongest. They help you build the most muscle. Like, I'm a little smaller than I used to be, but I'm trying to build back up where I was, or beyond where I was. And so compound movements are how you're going to get there. And as you can see in this second clip, I'm using lifting straps. I used to never use lifting straps, and I paid the price for it with calluses on my hands. So now I'm a firm believer in using lifting straps and using a lifting belt and all the possible accessories you can use. Like, as you can see in pretty much all my videos that I'll be posting from now on, I'm wearing a weighted vest as well. That's because I really want to start adding a little bit more difficulty. The weighted vest, just instead of having to, say if you're doing pull-ups or dips or something, instead of having to wear the belt, you can just throw on a weighted vest, and that adds some weight, or whatever other movement that you want to do. It just adds a little bit more weight to it, and it makes my running more difficult. It just, adds a little bit higher level of difficulty. So I really like using the weighted vest for, just building some more mental toughness throughout my workouts. And next up here, we have the Bulgarian split squat. I'm doing this on the Smith machine. You can do it with dumbbells. You can do it with a barbell. You can do it with kettlebells, resistance bands, body weight. You can do it however you want. I really love these because they help me work on single leg strength, and I'm really trying to just make my legs as strong and big as possible. These are these along with squats, or, front and back squats, are the movement that's going to help me get that result. So I use a weight plate under the squatting foot, under the front foot, because that helps me get a little bit deeper into the movement. It helps you get more range of motion, and it just makes it more difficult. That's the theme here. We're just trying to make stuff as difficult as possible because that's how you get results, unfortunately. It's lifting weights or anything that you want to get in life that's worth it is not easy, so just gotta go the difficult way. Yeah, I make sure, I think I did maybe 7 or 8 reps for the warm up sets here. So as you can see, there's no weight on the bar in these clips. So I ended up going to I think a 45 and a 25 on each side. So pretty decent weight. I'm really trying to start building these up, to higher numbers. I want to get to doing 245s and then going over that, really building some beastly legs. So yeah, and these are brutal to do, especially after squatting and deadlifting. But I think this new program that I'm doing is really going to help build just raw strength and, get way more results than doing some of the other stuff I used to do, even just, a couple months ago. Next up, we have the machine leg extension. This is a crucial movement for your knee health and strength. It helps the quads. It helps, the knee tendons and everything. And I don't know, I just really like doing these. I've always done them, even when I was younger. When I was a kid, I would do these, because they just really help you build your legs to be able to function in real life. So like running, walking, stepping up steps, you want to have some knee strength, and these are one of the movements that really help you focus on building knee strength. The area of your quads that is responsible for helping your knees move. So yeah, I really love doing these. I really like to make sure that I'm gripping the handles tight, and when I get up to the top of the movement, I'm squeezing my quads so that I can get all the range of motion out of them. I like to pause up at the top for like 1 to 2 seconds, just to make sure I'm getting everything out of the movement that I can. I really try not to let myself lift off of the seat or anything, and I really try not to do like you might see some people doing and do them super fast, and they're slamming the weight down. Like, I think doing any weightlifting movement super fast is just a recipe for disaster. Like, you're eventually gonna run into an injury if you're doing stuff too fast. So just slow down, squeeze at the top of the movement, let the weight lower slowly. You don't have to do it super slow, but just slowing, a decent speed of control is what you want to have. And yeah, you'll be on your way to building some huge legs and huge upper body if you do it that way. I'm not the biggest guy myself right now, but this is the way that that I know is going to get me where I want to be later on. And for the last up, we have the lying leg curl. These are great for your hamstrings. They're, besides like doing Romanian deadlifts, they're really the only other movement that I do that directly targets my hamstrings. And they're just a great addition to any leg day. If you're lucky enough to have one of these in your gym, I think you should always keep these in the rotation, because they let you really target your hamstrings in a controlled manner. Say like with Romanian deadlifts, you're usually including your glutes and lower back and your upper body. Everything else is included too, so it's really hard to just strictly focus on your hamstrings. And that is the good thing about like some of the isolation movements, like leg curl and leg extension, and the other isolation movements are good for adding in addition to your compound movements, because they let you target a specific muscle that might not get as much work in some of the compound movements. They let you really hone in on them and just give them that extra little bit of work towards the end of your workouts. Like, I really like to save all my isolation movements for the end of my workouts, and it just lets you finish off strong. And yeah, as you can see, I'm just squeezing that pad to my glutes and lowering slowly. And that's the name of the game, is just squeeze and lower slowly. That's whether you're bench pressing, whether you're shoulder pressing, whether you're rowing, pull-ups, squatting, leg curl, whatever you're doing is just, a strong squeeze on the contraction, and then on the eccentric portion of the lowering portion of the movement, just slow and controlled. And that's all you want to do. And yeah, that's all for my leg day. Thank you very much for watching this. Hope you have a great day. Until next time, everyone. Peace.